Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I did, had lots of rain, so I didn't really get to do what I wanted to do, but never mind. Yeah, things like that happen sometimes. But anyway, I'm up this morning with a KLJUYP project share, and it's the bag. And the bag is made in such a way that I hope that I can show the construction to you. And also, I think people want to know how you make the page hinge. So I've cut one of those out separately, and we'll fold that and I will show you that. Right, the bag comes in many pieces. So you have a front panel and you also have a layering piece. So your largest of your dies will always be cut in your good quality solid cardstock, because if you're going to make something like this, you really do want it to last. You don't want to put all the effort into something that is made out of flimsy paper, if you know what I mean. And then this piece here is the closure of the bag. So you get two of those. So you get one that will layer up on the other. This piece here is the base of the bag. So I'm laying these down. I'm doing it slowly so that if you've got your die, you'll know what you're doing. This is the decorative piece that goes on top of and also in front of the base, so that the inside of your bag has got a decorative sheet. This piece here is the base of the front panel flap of your bag. And then there is also a layering piece to do with your decorative cardstock, which of course can be a lot thinner. This is the top section that your flap attaches to. So it's important to know that your flap bit here, as you can see, is slightly smaller than your base. So if anybody's got that and thinking it must go that way because that fills up the entire straight edge, then you've got it wrong. You need to turn it around and that piece goes to that piece. And then you get the handle section. Now if I get the handle here, you will cut two of these. Let's see if we can get a close up. It's really bad weather outside. I actually cut four. I did two in my quality cardstock. These are mirror image, so you can glue them back piece to back piece. So you've got two front facing nice pieces. And then you've got a serrated bit here. So with my third and fourth handle, I cut off this bit here. So I was just decorating the top section because this will fold on the base. Okay, so you've got that. This is where your handle will pop through. So that will actually, you know, when you cut your cardstock, you'll drop two of those through. That will bend up and you will glue it flat on the bottom. So that is what goes to there. And then, of course, this is the book hinge. This is the bit I think that people get confused about. I don't think they've got a problem with building the bag. I think it's just this bit. Now, the base of this box, once this is made, I believe will take 4 of these. So that will give you 8 pages that will fit inside of your bag, your album bag, whatever it is you want to call it. So I'm saying you'll get 8 pages inside of it. I've done mine with 4 because I wanted to show you the space, because you could fill it with shakers or large chunks of ephemera or anything that you wanted to, really. So I'm just moving this out of the way. I'm going right over to the other side of my desk with it. And I'm going to show you the bit that I've made. Now, you know my camera is, you know, it's pretty useless. I used up some of my spare Dollar Tree trim, found it in my drawer, and I thought I'm just going to pop that on there. Now, here's what I mean. I cut my handle 4 times. So if you look there, I've got 2, I'm trying to get this correct. I've got 2 craft cardstock, and then I trimmed off my gold. That might be because I'm too close to my camera. And I trimmed off the gold, which is buried just underneath there. So you can see it's slotted through And then on that dotted piece you just saw, you fold them out so that it's held in securely. And because I used 4 sheets of good cardstock, it's a really thick handle that's going to last for a very long time. Now, I have used Maggie Holmes Garden Party paper for this, and this is the digital pack from American Crafts. So, you know, rather than spend an absolute fortune buying Maggie Holmes scrapbook paper, you can just print it off whenever you need to. Just save it on a USB or save it to a file. Right, now this is the front flap. See what I mean? It overlaps that edge, like I said. And then you've got a layering piece. And I hand cut ephemera because you get all the ephemera packs in the set. So you can just print them whatever size you want, fussy cut them, or use a scan and cut and then stick them on. Now, I know that it's, you know, approaching Christmas, and I think KS Craft actually made one for KLJUYP and did a Christmas version, but I thought I'd do one that was kind of birthday-ish. So that's what I've done. You can see the front closure here. Now, if I pull this section forwards before I show you anything else, I left it undecorated so that you can see. So you've got that edge there that is gluing to this flap. I hope that you can see that. And that bends. And then you've got the back edge of it that goes onto your back page, and that is buried just beneath a sheet of cardstock. Now, when you close it up, I'm just going to show you that. Your flap comes forward. Now, you know, I can try and get the whole thing in, but it's really hard for me. So you can see what the front of my bag looks like. Now, if I put it on its side and I open it, you can see all of the pages. Now, this is your base piece. And it's checkered on the bottom, and it's also checkered here. I use the checkered paper. Now, this is what I left naked so that you can see it. This is one piece of one of the folds in the hinge. Now, there are 2 hinges here to make 4 pages. So with each one you make, you'll get 2 hinges. And as I was saying, there's enough space here to put another hinge, which will give you another 2 pages. And there is enough space here to give you another 2 pages, so you can put another hinge down here. So you can see that they go at the front, because this is the front of your bag. And as you're looking through your album here, that is what you're seeing. But what you would do is you would have made for the 4 pages another 4 exactly the same like this, and you would have glued them here so that you would not have seen the hinge, and the back page would not be in the craft cardstock, it would be patterns. So your back would look exactly the same as your front. But as I said, I cut 2 of them out, and all I did was 4 pages. So that is how it works. Now, if I close it up again and bring the flap over, I'm hoping that you can see that. You can use either a Velcro dot or a magnet to open and close your bag. Now, I didn't put anything there because I was looking for my Velcro dots and I couldn't find them. So I'm going to run to Dollar Tree and get some. So this is a bag that is, to me, only half completed. So if I turn that around. Right, so now let's make the hinge that the page would go to. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. Oh, and I must show you these. These are the bits that pop out of the handle. But if you were making your bag without the closure on it, it would just be a chunky album. And you could actually use these bits as tabs going down. So, you know, you'd need 8 of those because you can actually get 8 pages. So that's just another little cool extra that you can use. Right, now this is the page hinge. So let's have a good look at that. You can see that you're small, you're large, you're large, you're small, and you're large, and you're large. Now I'm going to show you how you fold this. And I do have my bone folder, but I kind of like to try and find the creased edge first so that you know where you are. and then I use my hands, and then I will go back with my bone folder, and we're going to fold that. So that's your small piece, and I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. I'm bending it up. I'm trying to find the score line. Don't want to go away from that. And when you're using heavyweight cardstock, you do kind of tend to have to feel your way with your fingers, because the thicker your cardstock, the harder, of course, it is to bend. If you're using thinner cardstock, it's easy. But as I said before, if you're making a photo album or a gift that is going to take you some time and effort, I would suggest using that and just spending a little bit of extra time folding. Now, what these are known as are peaks and valleys, or mountain and valleys. So for your large ones here, you're going to bend that up towards you, and I'm just going along there and finding my fold line. And when I'm happy that I folded it and I've found it, then I'm going to go along there with my bone folder. And I will show you the side on view. So you've got that bit, and now you've got that bit. Now the smaller section, you're going to have to bring that one up and over. I think it's a lot easier once it's done to kind of like show you the side view, and then when you get your bag, you'll be able to just pause it at that point and see it for yourself. So we've got that now, and now this, see how that would be flat and that would be pointed up? Do you see that? So we want the small piece to be flat and the big piece to come up. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to find that crease line again. Just go gently down it until you find it. You can be quite confident, you know, at sort of manhandling thicker cardstock, because you're going along it with a bone folder, and also you have to remember these pieces are hidden within the pages. So we've got that. And now we need to bring this up towards us. So I'm going along and just teasing once again. I'm just finding that score line. And then when I'm confident that I've got it, I'll fold it and go down that with the bone folder. Don't know why I call it a bone folder, because it's plastic. You know, when you get all those We Are Memory Keeper scoreboards, they're wonderful things because you get all these free. Right, so we're going to bend that. I'm going to get it exactly how it should look to you. Your small pieces should be down at the bottoms, and your peaks should be at the top. That is what it should look like until it's glued, okay? So you've got your short bit, and your short bit, and those are the bits that will go flat. This has to come up like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it over onto its back, and then into each of the deep peaks we're going to put some tape. I'm just going to grab my tape, and I'm grabbing a pair of scissors. So I'm using a tape that's, you know, as close to or is the width. Now for me, I'll just flatten that out, and you only need one piece of tape along here. So that is at your widest point. And then at your widest point again, I'll pick this up and show you. You want to go down here. So you've got two pieces of tape. Can you see that? And that is so that that wide point there will be able to stick to there, and that wide point there will stick onto there. So it's going to look like that from behind. So I'm just going to pull that apart and take this off. And then all you have to do is fold that over onto your sticky bit. Make sure it's secured. That's your bit that you want up there. And then we're going to do exactly the same. If you've got any overhanging tape, like you can see there, just push it in with your finger so that it's not going to, you know, stick out and stick to anything. So now you will see exactly what that looks like once I get that bit folded back. Right. It's going to look like that. And then you're going to push those up. And what I like to do is force over the two large pieces and score them down again. And then I'll bring them over. This is just stretching the fibres in your paper. And then that will stand up. So that there is your first page hinge, and that is what it should look like. So you've got your two big bits sticking up and you've got your two little bits so that it will go down like that. Now with each piece you're going to need tape along the back section. So that will, whoops, that is what will make it stick down onto the spine of your book. So I know that I'm kind of like going halfway across one, so I only need to really put two pieces on here. Let's go a bit further down there. It's always fiddly when you're holding stuff up in the air and doing it. So I don't want to cut any of my hinge off, so that you've got this. So you're going to remove this and that is going to go down flat. And you can see I've got a bit of overhang here. So I'm now going to bring my book back in and I'm going to open it out and I'm going to show you what you do with this small piece is you overlap the last small piece that you fitted down. Okay, so I'm going to insert that there and I will make another one after for the back, because then I'll be able to have my full complement of 8 pages. So I've got a lot of humidity, so I'm just going to rub that down, make sure I can peel it off. There we go. So I've got that. See, I've got a little bit of overhang. Just push that in with your finger so that it's not overlapping. Got that, and then I'm just going to tuck that scruffy little bit in. And then you can hold it by your two big bits. I'm going to have to turn this kind of like towards me so that I can see where I am. And I hope that I have that on and that it's straight. And it might not be straight, but I've just committed myself. So now I've got the hinges in there to apply 2 pages, and you would put tape here and butt your page up. You would put tape here and then put the back on, so use some wet glue, and exactly the same with that one. So at the moment, as I said, I've got 4 pages in there and you can see what the back of it looks like. That's one of these. So that's how easy it is to make the page hinge, and you can make as many of those as you want to. I mean, if you've got other dies which are absolutely huge and you wanted to make a 20-inch thick book, you can go ahead and do that using as many hinges as you want to. It could be something, you know, with a big chunky handle on it that lifts out of a shoebox or something. You know, you can use anything you want to with a book hinge. But I just wanted you to see that, because I know a lot of people see things like this and they get confused. You can also, if you want to, obviously you've got to put another one on the back, but only glue it up the sides and leave the top open, because then you can stuff stuff inside of the page and treat it like a big chunky pocket. So that is what I have for you today. I hope that that was useful. and you didn't have to sit through a whole thing being made, but I think you got the most important basics. And I do apologise that, you know, you can't see the whole thing, but I will try and use my camera and get a photo of the whole thing for the front of the video. But there are all of your pages. But as I said, if you were not using this flap and you just wanted it as a book, which would be this, you could absolutely use these as really chunky page tabs, and they'd look really nice. Make a nice little pocket as well, or even something, you could have some flowers or something coming out of there. But that's it. Right, I am up tomorrow and I have a Panelisa design team haul tomorrow. And then in a couple of weeks, I just kind of, you know, rotate back to the designers and finish off what I haven't managed to do yet. But I do thank you so much for joining me. And as usual, all links below. Bye.